this sequence, I use a rear parry to evade my opponent's jab just as in the last sequence, but before he can pull his arm back into his stance, I counter with a jab of my own. There are two ways to pull this off. In this scenario, my opponent throws his jab from just inside punching range. As a result, instead of parrying his fist to the outside of my head, I simply catch it in my rear palm. However, if my opponent had a superior reach or threw his jab from well inside punching range, then I would need to parry his hand to the outside of my head and slip my head off my center line to avoid his shot. Either way, it is important to counter with the jab before your opponent can pull his arm back into his stance. I recommend practicing this technique as much as possible, both on the focus mitts and with a live partner. It is important to mention that when using the rear parry, you never want to reach your hand towards your opponent's punch. If you get into this bad habit, there is a chance your opponent will pick up on it. To break your guard, all he has to do is throw a fake punch. As your hand rockets forward, he pulls his hand back. Suddenly, your face is exposed and vulnerable, allowing him to target it with other punches. To prevent such an outcome, move your hand in front of your face and let the punch come to it instead of the other way around.